Hello, hello, hello. It's me, Miss Jarena Star. Jarena Star is in the building. And today, well, what I've been doing is I'm trying to, I'm just having a feel at this gaming world, this online gaming world. I think I've been feeling very inspired by these Gen Z new age streaming gamers, like their rise to fame is very inspirational. Um, so I've been reading up on Twitch and figuring out how it works, and I must have downloaded it, set up my profile and everything. Um, but I realized it's like a whole different. There's like you can really see like the Gen Zs on there, like they're full on. There's a lot of incel behavior, a lot of male testosterone. Um, and I must have told one certain gamer, young guy, black guy, must have because he was trying to get like a promotion from a brand. So like people who wanted to buy the outfits, like he had like an affiliate link to a so-called fast fashion company, Boohoo, and it's just the lack of awareness of Gen Z. Like, wow, especially if they're black, working class, they just don't give a F about climate change. They're all about fast cash, quick, you know. Um, and I can see it. And climate change is real. And now they're waking up to the forest fires in America, and these are the same people like who are just so out of touch. But fast fashion is a big problem. As someone who worked in high-end fashion, all these Gen Zs that used to wear the designer clothes, I used to work in that field. So I just remember like, the letters and emails we used to get while I worked in that company about the unethical factories, that use slave labor and also put chemicals, like really harsh chemicals on the clothes. And people are wearing these clothes and it's causing cancer. But because we have a generation of Gen Z who've been conditioned and sort of groomed to be materialistic and not give a F about the planet. And now it's coming to bite them in the back because we only have one planet. We only have one planet, and you can't be living in your little ignorant bubble, pretending like just consuming, and it not impacting the environment. Like you selfish, young, flashy, young Gen Z, mostly black, like with your black culture influencing the rest of the world because your black culture has substance, your music, your rap. And these men, these young men, like, I found my purpose. It's like I joined Twitch, to try and see what all this fuss about playing games. And here I am being political. And the way I told them about stop endorsing boohoo fashion and fast fashion, and they turned on me and timed me out. Like they've got some different timeout. You should have seen these young. One of them's like, well, if we want to buy Boohoo, we can, blah, blah, blah. Like, they literally pushed me out. There's a big incel culture. And I was not having it. I was like, I told the YouTuber, I was like, you're destroying the planet, by promoting Boohoo. What's wrong with you? No consciousness, no guilt. These are the generations our young people look up to. Oh my God. And then they're so disrespectful calling us old. Like, I'm sorry, but us millennials are not old. We're still in our prime. And the more age you have, the more blessed you are to live longer. And we know we're just a lot more wiser. Our education hasn't been tainted, and we haven't been groomed to be capitalists. And we care about our planet. And I'm sorry, but Black people need to start caring about the planet. The forest fires in America, in the midst of a global cost of living crisis. I mean, I'm not happy that it's happening to them, but it's happening to the most richest people in their swimming pool, in their mansions. And it just shows you, who does God prefer? I'm sorry, the way that they look down on poor people, the way that they brag their money, the way they bring their stacks of cash. I've literally been observing them like an alien, like this whole streamer quick rich scheme that I'm seeing with my younger generations. And now their houses are on fire in the Hollywood Hills. You know, DDG, he forgot to even put like fire insurance in his house. Like, that's how young and that's how ignorant these young people are, because they got that money so quick. And now everything they worked for is just up in smoke. And that is the power of God. They thought it will never happen to them. They're there experiencing the highs of their wealth. And I'm not hating. I think it's amazing. I think Kai Sanat is an amazing young Haitian. Kai Sanat is a very charismatic, lucky young man. He is the example of the American dream. Kai Sanat is from Haiti. He is the Toussaint. He looks like him. Short, dark-skinned Haitian. From the Bronx, New York. And he is an inspiration. But at the same time, people with that kind of influence need to be more ethical. We should, like us Gen Z, need to go on these streamer, gamer, Twitch, whatever channels they are, to try and influence these young people. Because, you know, for us, I mean, I spent the whole day trying to figure out Twitch, trying to connect it to my Amazon gaming stuff. And boy, I do have a good brain on me, but for the average millennial, that tech is really complicated. Like, I'm not going to lie. Okay, I still don't get it. I'm still trying to figure it out, but I will figure it out. And, you know, to see how it works, connect my games and everything and start streaming. But I just think us young people need to guide these young, well, we're not really that young, us millennials need to guide these second generation young people in the right direction. The things they talk about, filthy language while they're playing games, you know, Grand Theft Auto, it's just pure criminal, you know. We need to go in there and just sort of influence them and save them, save their souls, care about the environment, the planet, religion. Somehow going, it's not easy, folks. It's not easy navigating Twitch. That is some effed up platform. That is complicated. It's like a geek designed it for a geek. And it's not easy, but it's very necessary because our young people are on there to understand what Gen Z, Generation Alpha. I have a kid who's, you know, amazing at this tech stuff. But now I'm starting to understand where her behavior and her moodiness comes from, because look who's online. You know, I'm not totally against technology because I embrace it. It's a good tool that can be used for a positive thing. It's a good tool of expression. But also we need to be on there to monitor it and to also join in and change it, because it can't just be young people on it. Like, we need to go in there and use it for us, how us millennials like it. And I think it's a great tool. Twitch is an amazing platform, to be honest. And I can see that why so many millionaires were made out of. that platform, like, because there's just so many things you can do. You know, I even saw Kevin Hart hanging out with these YouTubers, these streamers, to learn what is it they do. You know, he's very smart guy, very shrewd to be hanging out with Drewski, Case and Speed, like just and vibing with them. And they were like streaming for 9 hours straight. At one point, there was 700,000 people during the stream. Wow, that's all I gotta say. You know, but as Black people, as Black women, we need to we need to we need to hold Black men accountable because they clearly have so much influence online, and they need to stick to the plan. They need to stick to what they're supposed to be, which is to worship Black women. That's what they were there for, to worship us. Don't let the fame get to their heads because, you know, they get a little bit of attention, a little change, and they think they're untouchable. That's just Black men for you. Since the days of Adam, they're like that. We need to get on there and sort these Ners out seriously, because they're acting like there's something they're not. Like, I'm telling you, your mama needs to put you in check. You can't be having that much influence and money and not impact and not even make an impact on your own community. You come from the Black community. You need to know where your roots are, where you come from. If you're going to have that much influence, then you need to be promoting your people. Sinai, what's his name? Kai Sinai. Kai Sinai, Haitian, you know. He needs to be political. He's like, oh, I don't want to be political, blah. No, me. You need to be political. You need to know where you come from. You need to use these platforms to enable your generation to follow your political point of view, who you are and what you should be doing. There's no point just, you know, doing rubbish and acting like a clown, like as our people always do. And it's always Black men. Always. Don't be influencing, don't be used by fast fashion companies like Boohoo to sell their trash. It's always the Black men that sell out. You know, always they study us, they know us as a people. That it's always the Black men that let us down. Well, I think it's them that let us down. And these fast fashion companies out here giving free crap to these Black men, and because it's new and shiny and in a pack, you know, just streaming. So, you know,
nobody's watching you.
So, you know, we need to be political and talk about where we come from, empowering the next generation of Black people. You know, not just doing silly dances, silly videos, but we need to be more political as a people. And we need to teach the next generation how to be political, like Thomas Sankara, like the Black Panthers. You know, these young people can't just be listening to YouTubers, dumb YouTubers doing stupid skits and things. They need to be talking about uniting as a people, as Black people, and coming together, supporting our content and leaders and become leaders, you know, leaders in technology, in education. That's what they need to be doing, and stop being used by these multinational companies that don't have the best interest of our community. We need to care about the planet. We really need to care about the planet. Honestly, these Generation Alpha, Generation Gen Z, they need to
only
know.
One person's watching you.
They need to be shaped, and we need to go on these platforms, guys. Like, there's a whole nother world in the. They have their own flipping servers. I had to be like, what is my daughter doing with this Roblox server nonsense? She's got her own flipping server. And, I just didn't get it. And then I looked online, I went on Twitch, and oh, sorry. There's a whole world. There's a whole world there. And they're so advanced. They are so advanced. It's unbelievable. Like, wow. And we need to get on there and influence them. We millennials, we need to get people like Kai Sana, people like him who have influence, and teach him to care about the planet, the environment, our people, Let's turn off the lights. It's not even. Since they're already out there, technology's out there, guys. There's no stopping it. But what we can do is influence our children. What we can do is teach them what is acceptable. Teach them about the planet. We only got one planet. Protect our environment. It's all linked. I went on Twitch. None of them are talking about the fires. None of them are talking about climate change. They're just in their own little. My daughter said some e-girl, whatever it is. That's like some gaming language, and I found it on Twitch. I was like, oh, is that what my daughter's talking about? Do you know what I mean? And I've been on timeout. I waited. It said 5 minutes. 5 minutes passed, and I still can't get back on and tell them about my peace of mind. One of the moderators blocked me. There's so many people on the stream. There was like 500. We can have so much influence. Just teaching these people, these young people, showing them the right way, and then teaching them about God, about Jesus. We need to be on these gaming platforms, guys. It's not even a joke. We need to be. It's like a whole different world. I'm seeing girls all dolled up like video games. Like girls are living up to these geeks' dream of how a girl should look like. All dressed up in makeup, performing for men, not being themselves. Is that the world that your daughter should live in? Is that the world that you want your daughters to grow up in, being a pick-me for men, geekish men that nobody would look to, nobody would get dates with, but they've created this whole underworld server tech thing that's, taking over the world just because my generation didn't give them a chance, and we didn't give them a chance because they were geeky. They didn't know how to talk to girls, they didn't know how to dance, they didn't have no vibes. One thing they're very good at is their brain, and they create these platforms. Now it's time for us to say to the geeks, we're here, we're listening to you, but let's try a different way. Don't just be so consumed in your geek life, creating the geek things because nobody asked you out when you were in high school. Every girl rejected them. Now all they've done is create dating apps because a real human female woman will never give this guy a chance, so they have to use tools to get women because they don't have the natural vibe aura to attract females. So they use their logical brain to create things that was lacking when they were younger. And now girls are dressing up as enemies on these game channels just to fit in. Wrong. It's absolutely wrong. Like, feminists, where are you? Like, you need to go on these gaming platforms. See what they're doing. Look how all these young girls. Look at these young girls playing up to the camera for men, expecting them to be little characters of games. living up to an ideal, a standard. Very sad. Not me, not my daughter. Hell no. So we need to come on this platform and disrupt it. We need to disrupt it, or because technology is already out there. We need to provide our influence. Literally, guys, we need to provide our influence. Study these channels, these streaming channels. Go in there, disrupt it. Put your point of view. We've been out. We've still been on Facebook and YouTube for a decade. The world's moved on. Clearly, it's moved on because there's like a whole new channel, like all these games, realistic-looking games, treat women like crap in their little meta universe. Live an alternate fantasy. And no wonder why they're not asking girls out anymore. Because they've got this whole another world online. Resist, my friends, resist. We must make these people socialize. We must make them come out. They're flipping bedrooms and their stupid gaming chairs. I hate those games chairs. They must face the public. They can't just stay at home playing games all day. It must be impactful and also mindful of who they are influencing. Do you know what I mean? Sorry, I'm not feeling